What player is the hardest to game plan for?
It's always been Steph.
The answer feels obvious now, but there was a time when it wasn't. Then the league had LeBron James as the chosen one, while Kobe Bryant was still trying to make a championship push with the Lakers. Those days, the NBA revolved around mid-range assassins and paint-dominant superstars. Plus, teams averaged just over 18 three-point attempts in a game. But on February 27, 2013, at Madison Square Garden, the baby-faced assassin changed all of that and had Kobe saying this.
But there's a serious calmness about him, which is extremely deadly.
This is how Steph Curry made NBA players fear him. During the late 2000s, the NBA had Kobe dominating the league, LeBron James in his physical prime, and Carmelo Anthony leading one of the best Knicks teams. In those years, defenses were designed to wall off the paint and contest mid-range pull-ups. And while the three-point shot was a weapon, it wasn't the foundation of the sport. Then there was 24-year-old Steph Curry, who was simply viewed as talented but fragile. Between 2010 and 2012, he had suffered more than 7 ankle sprains, undergone 2 surgeries, and missed over 40 games. All his life, he had been proving doubters wrong, and when he averaged 20.9 points, 6.6 assists, and 4 rebounds per game in 2013, he thought he had earned himself an All-Star selection. But he was wrong as he got dropped from the team. Reflecting on that event, Curry said, "It did bother me when it all went down," Curry said of not getting a spot on the All-Star team. There was just so much build-up to Selection Day about how I was for sure on the team, and we were playing great ball. But all of that stuff is out of your control. Less than a month later, Curry got involved in a scuffle against the Pacers while trying to break it up.
The two of them have to be separated. Steph Curry comes into the fray, and Hibbert just tosses him aside, and then this spills over into the stands.
So within the space of 1 month, Steph Curry was told that he wasn't good enough to be a star in the league, and neither was he strong enough to be respected in it. Then, on top of all of that, he was fined $35,000 for an incident that shamed him. Imagine this all playing in Curry's mind, knowing that he had a chance to make a huge statement inside the basketball mecca 24 hours later. But there was a problem. The Warriors were up against the 34-20 Knicks without key players like David Lee and Andrew Bogut. It felt like his Davidson days again, battling against Blake Griffin's Oklahoma.
To inbound, Curry a wide open shot, knocks down that three. And a steal. Now Curry from way deep. Oh no! Oh my goodness! Get it to Curry with Griffin on. Pull up three. Oh my goodness!
Unbelievable.
Stephen Curry with 42. That is a new career high.
But instead of Griffin, it was future Hall of Famer Carmelo Anthony, and this was the NBA at the Garden. So Curry knew what he was up against, but the league had no idea what was about to happen. The first quarter did not look historic. The Knicks came out aggressive, attacking the rim and feeding off the Garden crowd. Carmelo Anthony was doing his thing, but Curry had managed just 4 points. Nothing special, it seemed, until suddenly when the floodgates opened.
Landry off the double. Curry with the quick trigger, got the 3 ball, shoot 45% from downtown on the season. Curry with the quick 3, right down Main Street on Prigioni.
I'm like, the confidence is changing. He going back to Davidson on us, bro. Nah.
Curry for the lead, got it.
The shots were not simply threes. They were quick, off-balance, early clock attempts that most teams in 2013 would have considered irresponsible. Curry took them without hesitation.
The Warriors have connected on 14 of the last 16, make that 15 of 17. He's cooking with some hot grease right now.
Then came the kind of shot that made defenders uncomfortable. A pull-up 3 off the dribble like the league had never seen before.
Looking against Felton. For 3. Got it! What a night for Steph Curry.
And again.
Better look out. That guy is hot.
Curry for three. Wow! Unbelievable! Making it rain in New York. 46.
By the middle of the second quarter, the pace had shifted entirely. Curry poured in 23 points in that quarter alone and reached 27 by halftime. The Knicks were no longer dictating the rhythm, they were reacting. But on a larger scale, it was becoming clear that Curry was no longer playing within NBA expectations. He was playing like the floor extended several feet beyond what defenders were trained to contest. By halftime, the Garden was not celebrating a comfortable Knicks lead. It was watching a young guard change the NBA in real time. However, it was about to get worse. Halftime adjustments in those days usually meant one thing: force the ball out of a scorer's hands, and the scorer in that game was Curry. So the Knicks tried blitzing him with the goal to disrupt his rhythm, but it wouldn't work.
And the way the meter's running right now, he might equal that. Take it out of Curry's hands. Good ball fake, and the same result we've seen for the first two periods.
Nothing worked, and the Knicks were beginning to fear Steph. Then came transition moments that would have been considered reckless at the time.
The 2-on-1 back the other way. Curry, why not, for three? Bingo!
In 2013, that shot was not standard practice. It was audacious. And yet, it went in. He mixed in drives and mid-range looks to keep defenders honest.
Golden State. Curry, boy, sweet touch.
Come on.
Quick. Curry off the screen, got enough room. Again, butter.
By now, Curry had laid the groundwork for the post-traumatic Steph disorder that would later engulf the entire NBA. And he did it in Madison Square Garden, one of the most hostile arenas in the league. The fear was so real, Iman Shumpert still describes it with passion.
Man, what the f? This nigga got like 30. I'm like, bro, he putting bullets in us, bro. Like, what y'all mean? It's not cool. Foul him. Hit him.
But they could not stop him, till eventually fans at the Garden started cheering.
Before we knew it, the man had 50 and the Garden was cheering for him. I say they cheering for him. I was sick, bro.
You know, when the opposing crowd starts applauding, something larger than a box score is happening. Years later, Kyrie said this.
You know, those early 2000s, so we only got to see glimpses. But when he caught fire, man, everybody was on notice.
Indeed, Steph Curry caught fire in Madison Square Garden that night. He finished with 54 points, 11 threes, and played all 48 minutes. The Knicks won the game 109-105, but the outcome felt secondary because a player had just changed the way basketball was going to be played forever. And as such, that was the moment fear replaced routine preparation. Until that game at the Garden, even elite shooters operated within certain boundaries. Long threes were usually catch-and-shoot attempts created by ball movement, but Curry's 54 was totally different. He was pulling from well beyond the arc, off the dribble, early in the clock, in transition, and against set defenses. The Knicks were not giving him broken coverage. They were getting beat by shots the league had not yet normalized. Iman Shumpert would later describe what changed after that night.
After that game, bro, he got very disrespectful.
Yeah, he took off.
He got disrespectful. He started.
You see, after that performance, the hesitation disappeared from Steph's game, while the range extended further. All he needed was just one basketball to open the floodgates, and both coaches and players have spoken on this.
You know, it doesn't take much for him to get going. He never stops, so you can handle the first part, then there's going to be a second and third one.
Like, Steph hits a couple threes in a row, and it's kind of like the other team kind of just forgets how to play basketball a little bit.
The end result of this fear is that the league began adjusting its geometry around him. So in 2012-2013, teams averaged just over 18 three-point attempts per game. Within a decade, that number would climb past 35 per game. Although the efficiency of the shot did not radically change, the volume did. Spacing extended, big men stepped out, guards pulled up earlier, and defenses were forced to guard several feet beyond what had once been considered reasonable. Curry did not create the three-point shot. He changed how comfortable teams felt living with it. From that February night forward, he was no longer the fragile guard with ankle questions. He became the offensive problem almost every coach tried to solve and failed. Over the years, he won 2 MVP awards, a Finals MVP, 12 All-Star selections, and more than 4,000 career three-pointers. By 2026, he sits among the top scorers in league history and remains one of the most feared offensive players in basketball. The fact is, every dynasty and every legend has an origin story. For Steph Curry, the origin of fear did not arrive with a championship parade. It arrived on a February night in 2013 when he stretched the floor beyond the league's comfort zone. He entered Madison Square Garden as a talented guard still proving himself, but he left as a player opponents would game plan for differently. And from that point forward, defenders understood that once he got going, the plan could collapse in seconds. And if you want to understand just how early some legends saw this coming, watch Kobe Bryant was totally right about Steph Curry next.